welcome you onto this darling radio station and thanking you for joining this morning. Wherever you're listening from, it's good to have you. How was the weekend? Hope you had a great time. For those who had the one or two to attend in the weekend or over the weekend, I hope it was a great and I'm welcoming you to another working week. It's time to start work again. It's been a long time to rest and attend to this, attend to that. But this time around, work should begin. And for us here as well, work has been over the weekend, but let's just have another working week. All right, so welcome on board onto TNT FM. I will welcome you onto the program, The Mainstream. All right, this is our newspaper review program live from here. We want to bring you up to speed with trends across Nigeria as they make headlines on national dailies. So bring good stories from selected national dailies, and that will get them closer to your doorstep. And when the time is right, you're allowed to also be a part of it by dropping a comment onto any of the stories. All right, I welcome you on board on behalf of the executive producer of our programs. And of course, this particular program, Al-Aji, Yemi Zubar, and all members of the production crew. I am Nelson OLAOYE. I will not be doing this alone as usual every Monday and Tuesday. I have delectable
Oh wow, I love that.
introduction
The
or
introduction, actually the adjective.
adjective.
Yes, I say very good morning to every listener, every lover of Radio TNT 102.5 FM. We say many thanks for always being there. Yes, this is the voice of the truth, and I welcome you to another edition of the program, The Mainstream. Yes, as always, we are set to take you around Nigeria via the national dailies. After this time out, we will be right back to serve you headlines we are tracking.
And before the time out, how are you this morning?
Well, I'm good.
It's good to be alive, right?
This is the first Monday in the month of September,
I
and
didn't
even
I didn't
right
take
from the
that.
beginning of September till now, we have people who have lost their lives.
Sure.
So we should always be grateful for life, no matter what you're passing through. Be grateful.
And when there's life, no matter what you're passing through, there's still hope and for a better tomorrow. All right. Good morning once again. We'll take that break that she talked about, and then we'll get back with these headlines we have on the table. You don't touch the dial. Morning. Are you ready?
Yes. Here's on 7 new headlines making the round from the Daily Post newspaper. Tinubu National Assembly moves to stop same-faith tickets on presidency.
Doctors' ultimatum ends today. Old neck meeting on Saturday.
Resumption. P10 urges FG states to secure schools.
Don't flout law on elections funding. FG warns.
Second most terrorized country rank. Group calls for sack of NSA service chief.
And talking our souls, stakeholders bowing to Boko Haram's wishes. This is according to BCs.
Our personnel don't carry firearms. FRSC clarifies.
Federal government pays foreign firm $496 million for contract violation.
Army neutralize 3 terrorists. Recover arms in Kaduna.
NNPC defends 68 million litre daily consumption. Backs forensic audit.
Ekiti lawmaker condemns killing of NACDC operative. Abduction of 3 others.
And on Kiari, FG files 24 charges, seizes mega assets.
Land grabbers risk 15-year jail term in Oyo Lawan wants.
Atiku, no threat to Tinubu Obi's social media creation, says Ononga.
How unruly Nigerians in Dubai, others cost UAE visa sanctions.
On 2023, churches must be non-partisan, says CAN president.
Amoson sympathizes with victims of Ogun tanker explosion.
Suspected ritualist behead Ondo director, police recover corpse.
Still 7 new headlines this morning. So proud of you. Okonjo Iweala. Excited meeting Chimanda Adichie.
On 2023, IGP dismisses security threats.
Shocking dangers of how Akwa Ibom residents abandon medical care, patronize prayer houses.
And also on the mainstream this morning, EFCC set to arraign Ogun Speaker.
Oshimajo stakeholders to chart course on cocoa.
And another one on the program this morning. Debt for climate deal will lighten Nigeria's debt burden, says Oshimbaja. Take that line again. Debt for deal will lighten Nigeria's debt profile, says Oshimbajo.
Federal government rolls out nationwide loan program for indigents.
Nigeria's situation critical, not hopeless, says Peter Obi.
IG to US government, no threat to 2023 general election.
And another one on the mainstream this morning. We have this. More Nigerians make calls as active mobile subscriptions hit 286 million.
And lastly, on headlines this morning, 2023 APC National Working Committee to Talk Country, our 8th September 28th campaign kick-off. And this is from the Nation newspaper. And with this, we have come to the end of this segment. And after the short timeout, we will be right back to serve you details to those headlines you have just listened to. Don't go anywhere.
Chimamanda.
Chimamanda.
Even
This is
last
second
week,
time.
I heard you say Chimanda. Chimamanda Ichi.
Yes, many thanks for not breaking away. And in case you're just joining us, this is the mainstream coming to you live from the studios of Radio TNT 102.5 FM. And now we are set to serve you details to those headlines you have just listened to. Selected ones, of course. From the Daily Post newspaper this morning, we have this headline: Tinubu, National Assembly moves to stop same-faith tickets on presidency. The National Assembly is proposing an amendment to Section 84 of the Electoral Act 2022 to prevent political parties from nominating candidates of the same religion as presidential and vice presidential candidates. This is to avoid the repeats of controversy trailing the Muslim presidential ticket of the All Progressives Congress (APC) for the 2023 general elections. Chairman, Senate Committee on Aviation, Senator Smart Adeyemi, who dropped the hint during a media briefing on Sunday in Abuja, said the proposed amendments seeks to promote unity and religious harmony in the country. He showed a draft copy of the proposed legislation titled "A Bill for an Act to Amend Electoral Act 2022 and for other matters connected thereto, 2022," to journalists during the briefing. Adeyemi, who is a lawmaker representing Kogi West Senatorial District and sponsor of the bill, explained that Section 84 of the Electoral Act would be amended by inserting a new subsection that, in quote, "No political party shall nominate candidates of the same religion as presidential candidates and vice presidential candidates after this dispensation." According to him, the controversy which the Muslim presidential ticket of the APC has generated in the polity necessitated the move. A very long one from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. And this is the headline: Tinubu, National Assembly moves to stop same-faith tickets on presidency.
Away from that, now let's go to the Punch newspaper as we start with Quara. Saraki, others government's abandoned education sector, says Kwara Governor. Saraki, other governments abandoned education sector, says Kwara Governor. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara State has given an insight into how his administration saved tertiary institutions from collapse for lack of support, saying the previous government totally neglected the schools. A statement issued on Sunday by his Chief Press Secretary Rafiu Ajakai said the governor reviewed this during a thank you visit by the Kwara State Chairman of Joint Academic Staff Union in tertiary institutions, Bilikis Olasende. According to Abdurazak, The previous government totally neglected the schools. They were not paying salaries, let alone fixing the infrastructure. Quote, they did not care about that. The first institution I visited was Kwara State College of Education, Technical, Lafiaki, and I was totally disappointed. The state government abandoned its responsibility over the years. We're glad to have met their demands, while we will be glad to do more. It is glaring to everyone that we are coming from a terrible era that no one should ever wish for again. The last administration could not even pay when it was 18,000 naira minimum wage. Now we have moved up to 30,000 naira minimum wage. We even made sure that when you were making your demands, your salaries were being paid. End of quote. The governor said his administration was determined to restore Kwara lost glory in education with the right investment in infrastructure, staff welfare, and other support schemes. End of quote. The Punch newspaper has it. Saraki orders government abandoned education sector, says Kora governor. Read more on today's edition of that paper.
And still taking stories from the education sector from the Daily Post newspaper now. Resumption. Peter urges FG states to secure schools. The national president of the Parents Teachers Association of Nigeria, Peter Al-Aji Aruna Danjuma, has urged the federal government and state government to draft security agencies to strategic locations as schools across the nation prepare to resume on Monday. The P10 president in a statement said the call became necessary in view of the fact that kidnapping, banditry, and terrorism still persist, and schools are still soft targets of attacks in the country. Nanjuma explained that it behoves on the FG and the state government to be proactive in averting the menace of kidnapping in schools in the nation. Danjuma noted that COVID-19 pandemic is still a big threat to the existence of human beings, while stressing the need for both states and the federal to provide face masks and sanitizers and educate the students on it. The statement also appealed to the federal government and Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, to go back to the negotiating table in order to end the ongoing 6 month strike that is affecting the quality of university education in the country. It urged the Kebbi State and federal government to redouble their efforts in rescuing the remaining kidnapped female students of the federal government's girls' college, Yawuri. The petition further added that the students have been in captivity for over 450 days, now lamenting. No one is talking about them. In addition, there are still some school students in bandits there. From the Daily Post newspaper, this is the headline. Resumption. Peter urges FG states to secure schools.
Let's go now to the Daily Trust newspaper. Boko Haram invades Borno Mosque. Gun down Imam. Worshippers. Terrorists have attacked a mosque in Borno, killing the chief imam and three other worshippers. Many people were injured in the attack, which occurred in Ngude community of Ashkira Oba local government area on Friday. Daily Trust gathered that the terrorists numbering 20 launched the attack early by opening fire on worshippers who had finished their Fajr prayers at the mosque. The terrorists also looted livestock and foodstuff and set ablaze two vehicles in Ngude community, which is located at some part of Sambisa forest. While commenting on this attack, councillor representing the ward, Honorable Biliano Umar, said, quote, I, Honorable Biliam No Umar, councillor representing Ngude ward in Ashkira Oba local government, wish to sincerely extend my heartfelt condolences and sympathy to my entire constituents over the recent heinous attack by Boko Haram insurgents, which occurred on the 2nd of September 2022. Ngude Ward is one of the strongest communities in Ashkira Oba local government that gave me the mandate in the last local government election to represent them. Since then, I have been enjoying my solidarity and their support. Hence, I feel deeply shocked and sharing grief of this latest attack when most of my people were busy tapping from this year's farming season. The attack, which occurred in the early hours of Friday, 2nd of September, after the prayers claimed 4 lives and left many with casualties, while properties and businesses worth millions of naira were also destroyed and carted away by the insurgent. When contacted on the telephone, Borno State Deputy Speaker, who is representing Askira Uba constituency, Abdullahi Ashkira, confirmed the incident. On the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, Boko Haram invades Borno Mosque, gunned down Imam, worshippers. You can read more on today's edition of that paper.
No, I mean to start my phone. There's the ones I pre before I entered. Just it. I said not to you.
You see, just
Okay, next September 5. Here's still 7 news stories on today's edition of the mainstream, and now reading from today's edition of the Nigerian Tribune and talking security matters. No threats to Nigeria's 2023 election. IGP tells UN police chiefs. And now serving you the details there. As preparations for the forthcoming 2023 general elections hot up, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, has declared that there was no threat to the polls based on a robust security threat analysis carried out using global best standards to ascertain the trend of expectations for the electioneering processes. This was contained in a statement made available to newsmen yesterday night by the fourth public relations officer, FPRO CSP Olumuyiwa Adejobi. According to the statement, the IGP disclosed this during the United States Chiefs of Police Summit on COPS in the United States of America and during his meeting with Mr. Todd J. Robinson, Assistant Secretary, Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, U.S. Department of State, as part of events rounding up his attendance at the UN summit. It explained that during the meeting, discussions centered around enhancing support for the NPF training and capacity building programs, particularly the training of tactical units deployed in the Northeast and other conflict theaters across the country. The statement adds similarly discussed his achievements of cascading the ongoing election security management training across the 6 geopolitical zones in preparation for the 2023 general elections and support for police recruit training in modern policing themes such as forensic investigations, human relations, and cyber security. The Assistant Secretary praised the good work of the feat recorded by the NPF under the amiable leadership of the IGP, even as both leaders discussed other ways of increasing support to the NPF. A very long one coming to you from the Nigerian Tribune this morning, and this is the headline. No threat to Nigeria's 2023 election. IEP tells UN police chiefs.
Let's go now to The Guardian. Withdraw suspected APC members as upcoming Rex. Syrup urges Buhari. Their riders confront your problems. VONDG tells PDP chair IU. And then another rider, Tinubu Boacha, pledge better deal for Nigerians. Socio-economic rights and accountability project Syrup has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to urgently withdraw nominees recently submitted to the Senate for confirmation as resident electoral commissioners RECs of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC for allegedly being members of the All Progressives Congress APC. The president had on the 26th of July sent to the upper legislative chamber 19 names believed to be politicians or previously indicted for corruption. In a letter signed by its Deputy Director OLAOYE at the weekend, Serap said the combined effect of the 1999 Constitution as amended Electoral Act 2022 and international laws require that elections must be organized by a truly independent and impartial electoral body. According to Serap, government has a legal responsibility to promote and guarantee integrity, credibility, and independence of INEC, and also ensure that the electoral body is free from political and other interference. Withdrawal suspected APC members as upcoming wrecks, Serap urges Buhari. Read more on The Guardian.
From the Nation newspaper this morning, federal government rolls out nationwide loan program for indigents. And the details there now, the federal government has officially rolled out the Government Enterprise Empowerment Program, G20. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Algia Sadia Umar Farouk, who launched the national phase of the program in Katsina State, said the program would be replicated in all states of the Federation. The minister said with the rollout of the program, disbursement of loans would begin in all states of the Federation. At the presentation of checks to peasant farmers and petty business women, she said the interest-free loans to beneficiaries was in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to fighting poverty and its devastating impact from all angles. The CHIP program is categorized into three. The first one, trader money loan of 50,000 naira, targeted at uplifting the underprivileged and marginalized youth between the ages of 18 and 40 years. The second one is market money loan, also 50,000 naira, and for the underprivileged and marginalized women like widows, divorcees, and other vulnerable groups. And the last one, farmer money loan, which is between 50,000 naira and 300,000 naira, designed for small scale farmers in the communities to improve their agricultural productivity and inclusion in commercial farming. In a statement in Abuja by the media aide to the minister, Nneka Anibeze, Ajay Farouk said in court, JIP is a program designed by President Buhari's administration to create further opportunities for the poor, vulnerable, and low-income Nigerians, especially those who are involved in viable informal productive activities with limited financial requirements but have never had access to loans from the formal financial sector. You can read up from the Nation newspaper this morning, and in case you're interested, you can get to know how to apply. Federal government rolls out nationwide loan program for indigents.
On the Daily Trust newspaper, our personnel don't bear arms, says FRSC. The Federal Safety Corps (FRSC) has reiterated that its personnel are not yet permitted to carry guns or any other firearms, whether on patrol or any other official duty. FRSC Public Education Officer Kazim BC, in a statement on Sunday, said the clarification became necessary following the image of an operative captured on camera carrying firearms in a position that suggested it was on official duty. It said the viral report should be disregarded in totality as it was an old and recirculated image of an overzealous staff member who posed with a rifle belonging to a sister agency staff in admiration and ignorance in the year 2018. Kazim said the staff member had since been punished according to existing maintenance of discipline by the Corps. He also said Acting Commercial Dauda Alibiu advised members of the public to disregard the image being recirculated. Daily Trust has it, our personnel don't bear arms, says FRC.
From the Daily Post newspaper, second most terrorized country rank. Group calls for sack of NSA service chiefs. The details there. Some security experts in the country have observed that the latest report by the Global and International Terrorism Research and Analysis Group, Jihad Analytics, placing Nigeria as the second most terrorized country in the world, is not only shameful but regrettable. The experts then called on President Muhammadu Buhari to take charge as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to immediately take proactive steps to address the security challenges bedeviling the country with the view of ensuring sanity in the system. In a statement jointly signed by the National Coordinator Kolade Babatunde and National Secretary Dr. Ibrahim Bulama Mongomo, Forum of Security Experts in Nigeria, the concerned experts explained that the reports by the Global and International Terrorism Research Analysis has continued to generate intense debates among Nigerians, saying that the research group claims that Nigeria ranks second among nations struggling under the weight of terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and kidnapping after Iraq. The experts immediately and unconditionally called for the sack and probe of the National Security Advisor, Major General Muhammad Babangana Mugono, retired, and the service chiefs, saying that the development triggered angry reaction from the security experts and stakeholders in the country. The group of experts charged President Buhari to activate its constitutional power of hiring and firing the National Security Advisor, Major General Mohammed Munguno, and the service chiefs, lamenting that the report has exposed the incompetence of the military and other security agencies in Nigeria. Well, we have other call made by other groups, but this is a headline from the Daily Post newspaper, so you can pick it up. Second most terrorized country rank. Group calls for sack of NSA service chiefs.
On the Punch newspaper, NNPC defends 68 million naira, 68 million liter daily consumption, backs forensic audit. NNPC defends 68 million liter daily consumption, backs forensic audit. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Sunday insisted that daily supply of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, across the country was 68 million and offered to submit itself for forensic audit of PMS supply and subsidy management. On Friday, the Punch reported that the controller of Nigeria's Customs Service, Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, said NNPC could not justify the volume of petrol being consumed in Nigeria daily to warrant the over 6.34 trillion naira subsidy payment on the commodity annually. Now we'll take a break quickly. When we return, we'll take the motto of that report or to complete that story. Don't go away.
The beauty of being a business owner is getting your products and services known to the world as well as a great profit margin. Do you want what you do to go beyond the shores of Africa? Do you want your occasion and events to get to your targeted audience without stress? Do you want your voice heard like never before? Look no further. TNT Radio 102.5 is here for you. Put your wares, products, and services right in the waiting hands of your customers when you advertise with us. We use this medium to thank our old and new listeners. We're committed to giving you the best of information, entertainment, and education always and every day. Do stay with us as we take you global. Visit our commercial unit today for announcement and advert placement. TNT 102.5 FM along at Sheikh Road, Ijabu, Kwara State, or telephone 0909 888 1025 or 0909 777 1025 or 0704 422 1025. TNT 102.5 FM radio. It's your business, our platform, and your profit.
That's right, your business, a platform, and your profit. Come along and let's partner. Are you sure to have good returns? Let's continue. This is still the mainstream. And if you just joined us, you're listening to it live on TNT 102.5 FM. It's your newspaper review program where we take a look at trends on selected national dailies. Now let's continue with the punch. This a story was being taken before that short break, and the headline to that story is NNPC defends 68 million liter daily consumption, backs forensic audit. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on Sunday insisted that daily supply of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, across the country was 68 million and offered to submit itself for forensic audit of PMS supply and subsidy management. On Friday, the Punch had reported that the Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service, Colonel Ahmed Ali, retired, said NNPC could not justify the volume of petrol being consumed in Nigeria daily to warrant the over 6.34 trillion naira subsidy payment on the commodity annually. Ali had argued that the NNPC could not scientifically prove the 98 million liters day per day consumption it was claiming, alleging that the nation's oil company was supplying an excess of 38 million liters of PMS daily. But in a statement issued in Abuja yesterday by the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, NNPC, Garba D. Mohammed, the oil firm stated that between January and August 2022, the total volume of PMS imported into Nigeria was 16.48 billion liters, which translates to an average supply of 68 million liters per day. It also added that similarly, import in the year 2021 was 22.35 billion liters, which translates to an average supply of 61 million liters per day. The company said the average daily evacuation from January to August this year stood at 67 million liters per day, as reported by the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. There is more to this on various national dailies this morning. This particular one read out to you is from the Punch, and here is the headline to it. If you want to get more to that, you pick up today's edition of the Punch. NNPC defends 68 million liter daily consumption, banks forensic audit.
From the Daily Post newspaper, resolve strike now or face decisive action. Nance factional president Lawal to FG ASU, a factional president of National Association of Nigerian Students NANS, Umar Farouk Lawal, has said that it is disheartening to see university students sitting at home for over 6 months. Lawal made this disclosure via a statement made available to Daily Post during the weekend. Accurate newsmen gathered that NAN's election was held at two separate locations in Abuja on Saturday. The two factional presidents, according to reports, are Umar Farouk Lawal and Usman Umar. Lawal is a student of the Department of Library and Information Science, Bayero University, Kano, while Umar is a student of Federal University, Dutse, Jigawa State. Speaking after his emergence, Lawal disclosed that it is disheartening that students have remained at home for 6 months as a result of the strike embarked upon by members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Lawal, however, said that NANS, under his leadership, was ready to be the genuine voice of the students in this negotiation to end ASU strike. He added that NANS, under his watch, will soon be meeting ASU towards ending the 7 month strike by university teachers. The NANS factional president also promised that the association will no longer indulge in partisan politics. For more on this headline, resolve strike now or face decisive action. NANS factional president Lawal to FG ASU.
I'm still reading from the Punch from my end. Doctors' ultimatum ends today. Old neck meeting on Saturday. The 2 week ultimatum issued by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors NARD to the federal and state governments ends today, Monday, the Punch report. The association has, however, scheduled its extraordinary National Executive Council meeting for Saturday, 10th of September in Jos Plateau State to deliberate on the ultimatum. The resident doctors had on the 30th of July issued a 2 week ultimatum to the federal government to implement all the agreement it had with the association or risk an indefinite strike. NAT's demands include payment of newly reviewed medical residency training fund, the immediate implementation of payment of the new hazard allowance and arrears, and several others. Again, on the 21st of August 2022, the association extended the ultimatum by 2 weeks to give room for intervention by the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Punch correspondent, however, gathered that the federal government has yet to implement the increased hazard allowance and the newly reviewed MRTF. More to come, but if you want that more, we'll pick today's edition of The Punch. And here comes the deadline to the story. Doctor's ultimatum ends today. Old neck meeting on Saturday.
From the Daily Post newspaper still, how unruly Nigerians in Dubai, others, caused UAE visa sanctions. The visa sanctions imposed on Nigerians by the United Arab Emirates, UAE, came with a rude shock to the citizens last week. Daily Post reports that the action came after a series of lawless actions in recent years. Owing to the development, several Nigerians were left stranded at the Dubai airport last week. The Western Asia nation of around 10 million people is popular for its many spectacular tourist attractions that bring millions of tourists annually. In the early 2000s, Nigerians started to take interest in Dubai, the Emirates' most popular city, for shopping and vacation. By 2010, some had settled in after taking paying jobs, while others decided to move there to also seek a better life for themselves and dependents. It turned out that UAE's hospitality was taken for granted as violent incidents involving Nigerians increased in certain parts of the country. At different times, the authorities issued cautionary statements to visitors and migrants to stop disorderly conduct and respect the laws. But the warning fell on deaf ears for some, while a few got away with it. Others paid the price through heavy fines, jail term, or deportation. The last straw that broke the camel's back were the clashes that broke out in Sharjah in July this year between court groups. In a video which went viral on social media, rival gang members bearing dangerous weapons fought each other in a public place and damaged properties. The police arrested those identified and commenced their prosecution. Apparently angered by the footage, the security agency banned publishing or forwarding clips. Anyone who does so violates the law, the UAE federal law on countering rumors and cybercrimes. Well, it's a very, very long one there. Nelson, I don't know if you came across some videos during the weekend showing how Nigerians who were going for vacation, some were for visiting, were stranded at the airport.
I didn't see that. I think the one I saw was about some months ago that some Nigerians were fighting, engaging in some violent actions in the streets of Dubai. And I wondered, you are foreigners there, and then you're taking laws into and not in your country. You shouldn't do that in your country. Now you go to another
Another
country
country.
and then you do that.
And that's why even on social media, in Nigeria it's being alleged that Nigeria imported courtesan to Dubai. So it was this athlete saying the Nigerians at the airport stranded. Some of them were even deported right away. You know how it
Because of the
feels.
sin of few.
Yes, because of the sins of few. That is why, as Nigerians, we should be good representative of our country,
Ambassadors of
good
Nigeria.
ambassadors wherever we find ourselves, because we are the face of Nigeria.
All right, that's very correct. We are the face of Nigeria. We'll turn our attention now to the punch. FG pays foreign firm $496 million for contract violation. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, has disclosed that the federal government has settled a long-standing $5.26 billion contractual dispute with a foreign investor group in the steel sector for $496 million. A statement yesterday by the special advisor in the office of the AGF, Dr. Umar Gwandu, said the mediation proceedings were under the alternative dispute resolution framework of the International Chamber of Commerce, led by Philip Owell Richardson. According to the government, the settlement agreement came into effect on the 19th of August 2022. FG pays foreign firm for $96 million for contract violation.
Yes, now turning attention to today's edition of the Vanguard newspaper. How FG said Ajaokuta steel industry reduced dispute cost to $496 million. And this is according to Malami. I take the headlines again. makes it $1 billion, and this is a statement credited to Malami. The details there. The federal government has, through mediation, settled a long-standing contractual dispute with a foreign investor group in the steel industry by securing a reduction of the total money in contention from $5.258 billion to $496 million. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami's son, has revealed. Malami, in a statement by his media aide, Dr. Umar Gwandu, yesterday, maintained that the reduction federal government secured from the group represented 91% of the total mediation claim. He disclosed that the mediation proceedings were under the International Chamber of Commerce (ICC) Alternative Dispute Resolution framework led by Mr. Philip Owell Richardson. Where from the Vanguard newspaper, this is the headline. How FG said Ajakuta steel industry reduced dispute cost to $496 million. And this is a statement coming from AGF Malami.
EFCC to arraign Ogun Speaker in Lagos on Monday. Today, Ogun State House of Assembly Speaker Olakunle Oluomo is to be arraigned in Lagos today by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over alleged financial crime. An impeccable source within the anti-graft agency confirmed this yesterday to Punch correspondent. The source pleaded anonymity, noted that the agency was leaving no stone unturned in its bid to arraign the chief lawmaker, adding that some political actors have been making effort to stall the arraignment. The Ogun State Speaker was arrested by officials of the FCC at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport on Thursday morning, and he was secretly flown to Abuja. More to this report, pick up today's edition of The Punch. EFCC to arraign Ogun Speaker in Lagos on Monday today.
And lastly, from the Nation newspaper, banks cut work hours to save operational costs. The details there, banks' operational costs have continued to rise in recent months over the uptick in inflation, high energy prices, and the exchange rates. And the exchange rate prices, the nation has learned to reduce the impact of these challenges on their profitability. Banks like Access Bank and United Bank for Africa (UBA) have cut their work hours. Nigeria's inflationary pressure is a 17-year high of 19.64% in July, while energy source, especially diesel, has risen to an all-time high of 800 naira per litre. Access Bank, in a notification titled Adjusted Closing Time for Select Branches to its esteemed customers, listed 83 branches in different states where its doors will be shut to customers at 3 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. The bank urged customers to consider processing most of their transactions via its digital channels. For more on this headline, banks cut work hours to save operational costs. This is from the Nation newspaper.
All right, more would have been aired, but time is far spent already. Also, has constituted 7-man committee to tackle smear campaign against its union and, of course, the prolonged strike. Also, we have the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Inakadeboye, says lack of respect for traditional institution was responsible for numerous challenges facing the country. Also, the CAN president, Dr. Daniel Oko, he is urging Christian leaders and churches across the country to be non-partisan in election matters. And lastly, we also have the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, decrying the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria, saying it will be a crime not to educate our kids in Nigeria. All right, with that, we'll come to the end of the first part of the program, where we're taking you through headlines and details to the stories making the rounds across the country, Nigeria. Now it's your turn to be a part of it. Now, this is what happens. You pick a story of your choice out of all the stories. So many of them have been taken. When you pick that story, remember not to go close to your radio so we can have a good reception, so the conversation can be clear and devoid of any kind of noise. All right? And then when you call, do not forget that you have to talk in the space of 1 minute and do not go exceed that time. It's just so we can allow as many calls as many individuals that will want to get to talk to us on the program. And then the comment has to be safe, no form of attack on any individual or group of persons. Remember, it should be very civil and very, very devoid of any form of attack or whatsoever. 09094 or 0701 384 0905 897 3138. All these are the lines we have lined up, but you can pick any of them for you to be a part of today's conversation. 0905 897 3138 or 0701 0905 897 3138.
Yes, and we also say very big thanks to all those watching us live on our social media handles on Facebook, Tiwantiwa FM, and on Instagram at official Tiwantiwa FM. We say a very big thanks to you. Okay, let's see who's there. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Yes, you have the floor. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Yes, many thanks for being a part of the program this morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. And many thanks for being a part of the program, Mr. Bani Abubakar. Yes, you're still picking calls this morning. 0909 444 1025 or 0701 384 1025. You can also dial this number 0905 897 3138. These are the studio lines to dial in order to be part of the program this morning. As we would like to know what you feel about any of the stories read out to you this morning. One of them, of course, is let's raise there. Good morning. Good to have you.
God bless you too. Thank you very much for calling.
Good morning.
I lost the call.
Okay, ready. As you're still waiting for your calls this morning, 0701 384 1025 or 0905 897 3138 or 0909 444 1025. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Amen. Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead. A wonderful morning to you as well.
Good morning. Thanks, FM. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we say amen to that prayer. Yes, we're still picking calls this morning. Good morning. Your name and your location. You're welcome.
Okay. God
And we say
bless
God
you
bless you
too.
too.
Thank you for calling. Hello, good morning. Your live, can you speak a little louder so we can hear you?
Zero 0701 3841025. Okay, we record there. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good to have you. And God bless you too. And many thanks for calling.
The strike, hope it doesn't come because if the hospital go on strike, then with us on strike, it will be serious.
Then you know we are talking about people's health
This
there.
time
We
out.
have people who are already in the hospital.
Hospital.
So will they be discharged? Just asked to go home,
Just like that.
just like that. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Thanks, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Yes, for your comment this morning. Well, that
Yes.
comes to the end of the program. But we'll not end it without saying a big, big happy birthday to one of our own, Blessing
Adiogo.
Adiogo.
Yes,
I
our
love
own
that's the
very
way
this
she
year.
pronounces her
Okay,
name.
okay.
Blessing Adiogo.
You know, she takes her time.
Takes her time. It's her
doing
name,
that.
of course. You have
Yes.
to take your time
Yes,
to
you
pronounce
flaunt it.
You flaunt it.
Yes, we say happy birthday from every one of us at Radio TN 210.5 FM. We say we love you and keep being you.
And your fans too. They say happy
Yes,
birthday
yes,
to
we
you.
say happy
She's
birthday
in
on
the
behalf of
building.
your fans.
She's
Yes, she's in the building.
building.
Yes, she showed up. So we say happy birthday. Well, the next thing I'm expecting now is, I came very early, so I've not taken breakfast.
You have
So
to feed
maybe,
yourself.
maybe cake and juice, just for breakfast. That
I
will
need
make
Owambe rice.
Yes, Owambe
I don't
rice,
need
something
cake. I
like
don't
that.
take
And yesterday, so one of us celebrated a birthday,
Okay,
Bisola
that's very
Durojaye. So it seems September we just have a lot of September babies.
So September babies, make sure you come through for us.
Okay.
And then our grandma Dickiners Olalero, she's 85 today. Mama,
Wow.
we celebrate you. Wish you long life and good health. Because good health is very key and lots of money, Mama. It shall be well with you.
Yes, and all these after birthday shouldn't just go once again. I'm saying blessing Adiogo. I know you're in the building. So we are waiting for our party rise. And just before we round off, today is also World Teachers Day and World Financial Planning Day. So we congratulate all the teachers out there. We say thanks for the good work you are doing and keep it up.
That's very correct. Teachers, keep trying, keep doing your best. The world is no longer in heaven. You should eat your food here before you
Yes.
get there over in the great beyond. And that wishes to Deaconess Wurola Olalero is from Blessing Adiogo, of course.
I bet the mate.
All right. Until tomorrow, when we come back on the program. You have yourself a great Monday. Do keep yourself safe. And as you get to work, be productive as well at work. God bless you all. I'm Nelson Olaoye.
And I'm Oluwaseun Fadiola.